Hendrick Motorsports picks up a powerful crew chief from the Toyota stable for 2021, and Ben Rhodes gets no action taken toward him after his really bad driving at Texas Motor Speedway. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. The first thing we're going to talk about is Hendrick Motorsports' new crew chief. Their new crew chief for 2021, who will be crew chief for William Byron, is going to be Rudy Fugle, as Rudy Fugle will be the crew chief for William Byron in 2021. For those who need a little background about Rudy Fugle is probably one of the best crew chiefs, if not one of the greatest crew chiefs ever in the Truck Series. He's won championships in the Truck Series in 2015 with Eric Jones. Almost won a championship in 2016 with the driver he is crew chief for this year, William Byron. If Byron's engine doesn't let go, he wins the championship there. 2017, he went and won the championship with Chris Ravel. 2018, made the Final Four with Noah Gragson, so almost won the championship there. The last years have kind of not been as good, but you saw, I think, no, Harrison did not win last year. 2020, no, he didn't. I don't think he won this year either. But Christian Eckes came really close this year. So he's worked with a lot of young talents, like Eric Jones, like William Byron. And I think that Hendrick Motorsports just got a massive, massive upgrade for 2021. I am expecting a lot of great things from this team next year. I think William Byron will improve, especially with the fact that he is going to be working with a crew chief that he has worked with in the past. Yes, I know it has been will be technically 5 seasons since he has worked with Rudy Fugle, but the fact that they have both worked together, they can kind of regel that synergy they brought over at KBM when he was over there with that team. And I think there is a lot of confidence, and I have a lot of confidence that there is a good chance that William Byron will be a contender and improve next year. I think he'll do better here than what Chad Knaus did. Then again, he might be like what we thought with Chad Knaus and William Byron teaming up together, what they thought it was going to be, and then it turned out to be kind of a bad fluke, and it wasn't really as good. But I think Rudy Fugle is going to do a lot of great things with William Byron. I hope they keep Rudy Fugle for a long time. I think that William Byron and Rudy Fugle are really going to gel next year together. I think that, like I said, there's a good chance that they will improve. And maybe, like I said, it'll be a fluke, but we'll have to see what happens there. But the big thing now that happens is what happens with Cliff Daniels. I think Cliff Daniels is going to go with Kyle Larson when that gets announced. Now, we don't know for sure when the Kyle Larson announcement is supposed to happen. Rumors are speculating that's either going to happen after Martinsville, when all of Hendrick Motorsports possibly gets eliminated, or it's going, which because there's a good chance that Hendrick Motorsports might get eliminated, but we'll have to see what happens because they're all currently right now, as the race has been delayed till Tuesday, by the way, there's a good chance that we might wait till after Phoenix, after Jimmy Johnson finishes his last full-time season in the Cup Series. But man, you're going to look at Hendrick Motorsports stable next year probably and see that Rudy Fugle's with William Byron, a huge pickup there. You've got Alan Gustin and Chase Elliott. Yes, everyone kind of criticized Alan Gustin, but there's been some pretty good calls with them. Great guys if Alice Moon in the 48, and then Cliff Daniels and Kyle Larson. Look at that great combination. Not only is Hendrick Motorsports building a really good combination of drivers for the future, but they're building a really good lineup of crew chiefs for the future as well to kind of help. And I think William Byron needs a crew chief that he has worked with in the past, and he can get a lot of guidance, especially from a big crew chief like that, who, like I said, he's worked with in the past and can build a lot of synergy with him. And I think there's a lot of positivity with this move. This is really awesome. I cannot wait to see what Rudy Fugle and William Byron can do next year. And I think this will help William Byron be a little bit better in the point standings and not just be a fringe playoff contender like he was this year. I think he definitely will improve. Yes, practice and qualifying isn't going to be as big of a factor this year as it was last year at the beginning of the year for the pandemic, and it sucks that practice qualifying isn't going to be as big of a thing, but hopefully it will come back in the future. Up next, we're going to talk about Mason Diaz, as he will be driving the final 2 races for San Hunt Racing at Martinsville and Phoenix. Looks like they're looking at trying to get him possibly ready for full-time as well in 2021 with them using Mason Diaz. I looked at Mason Diaz's stats. He's actually younger than me, as a matter of fact. And I think Mason Diaz has some pretty decent stats driving for Venturini. He's been pretty decent in the ARCA series. He does have a lot of talent. I cannot wait to see what Mason Diaz is going to do. I think his goal in the 2 races is to try to finish in the top 20 best he can. The Xfinity Series field is definitely a lot weaker. I know that Sam Hunt Racing has shown some times when they've ran in the past earlier this year, especially coming back from the pandemic, they've shown top 15 and top 20 speed. So if Mason Diaz can kind of stay there in the top 50, top 20, I think it proved what talent he has and the capabilities he does have. And I cannot wait to see what Mason Diaz is going to do because I think, like I said, I think he is extremely capable of driving cars. He's done well in like late models. He's done well for Venturini this year, you know, and I think he's going to have a really good opportunity. And also Bill McAnally, I think is a Venturini an ARCA? I think it is. I cannot wait to see what is going to happen with Mason Diaz when he gets the opportunity to go in this car for 2 weeks. Anyway, now we get to the final story of this episode. We're going to talk about Ben Rhodes. Now, this is where I am going to get a little bit heated in this part of the episode because Ben Rhodes did some stupid stuff in this race. Oh my God. So Ben Rhodes right-reared Christian Eckes down the straightaway. Before that, he wrecked Todd Gilliland and wrecked hard on the outside wall. He ended up, Chandler Smith tried to retaliate, and then Josh Licky got clobbered because of that. So Ben Rhodes caused basically 4 trucks to end up crashing in this race. You would think NASCAR would at some way hurt him in the points or suspend him or, you know, give him a fine or something like that or take away points, right? No. Even though they took 2 laps off of Justin Haley's wreck when he wrecked Riley Herbst at Pocono. So there's no consistency there. In my honest opinion, and most of NASCAR would agree, the NASCAR fandom I should say, would agree that Ben Rhodes should have been penalized for the move he made on Christian Eckes. The one thing you don't do, there's a few things you don't do, but the one biggest things you do not do, especially as a race car driver, is you right rear them and turn them hard into the outside wall. Especially when you're going 180 to 200 miles an hour, and when you hit the outside wall, I think the door was on the side and hit the outside wall as well, by the way. And you could honestly not only hurt them. Granted, safety is a lot better in NASCAR, but you cannot just turn them and right rear them into the outside wall because you honestly could really hurt a race car driver. And I just don't understand why NASCAR didn't take any action toward it. Now, some people would say, well, Ben Rhodes was just driving okay. No, Ben Rhodes was over-driving, being too over-aggressive. I guess maybe one of the reasons they didn't penalize him was because he's a playoff driver. But, I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous that he absolutely did this. And I think NASCAR has every right to get called out for this. And if they turn him at Martinsville, if any of these drivers end up turning at Martinsville and talking about Christian Eckes, because he flipped them off, rightfully so after he got out of the car, he literally did this. Rightfully so he did that, by the way, because he completely earned the flip off because Ben Rhodes is a freaking idiot, a moron. I cannot believe he did that. I mean, literally right rear. And then he doesn't want to take responsibility and doubles down on it. I can't believe it. But like I was saying, if these drivers that were involved in wreck like Josh Licky and Josh Rayum, the owner of the Rayum Brothers team, basically said that they're probably going to wreck him. And rightfully so. If they end up wrecking him and taking him out of this championship, he deserves it because he completely wrecked 3 or 4 cars. I know that those people were not playoff drivers, but absolutely that is inexcusable for any driver to do in NASCAR. You do not right rear someone down a straightaway. Not only that, you could have ended up wrecking and causing a really bad wreck. Luckily, Christian Eckes was the only one in the wreck, but he could have honestly hurt someone really, really bad doing something like that. You just don't do that. I don't care if you're mad or not. You just do not do something like this. That is inexcusable for any driver in motorsports to do. You don't intentionally wreck them down a straightaway. If you give them a little bit of a bump, that's one thing. That's what happened to Austin or Justin Haley. There were some bumps. That's a little different, but right rearing them on a straightaway at 180 miles an hour, inexcusable. That is inexcusable driving, and he deserved to get penalized and didn't. I think NASCAR really messed up there. But anyway, that is going to be it for today's NASCAR news video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications so you can be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's video. Do you think that Ben Rhodes should have been penalized for his crazy and stupid driving at Texas on Sunday? Let me know in the comments below. And how do you feel that Ryan Fugle, also known as Rudy Fugle, will do with William Byron? Do you think they're going to improve and do better with Chad Canaston? Or do you think that they will struggle next year? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you do like. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe so YouTube can recommend these videos out to you guys. If you do that, I really appreciate it. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.